High school football is special all across the state of Louisiana, but nothing compares to our area. It's time for This Week in River Parish Football. From the Creole House Cafe in Paulina, Louisiana, welcome to This Week in River Parish Football. I'm Eric Ritchie, pleased to be joined by Lutcher head football coach Tim Detillier on a Halloween night we take this show. First of all, Coach, happy Halloween.
Same to you, Eric.
I know it's a big night here. This no joke. Halloween is no joke here in this area.
No, it's not, but behind me has nothing to do with Halloween. You just call that Lutcher football.
There's no question about it. We are pleased to have our biggest crowd so far. Give yourselves a hand because you guys are representing River Parish football as you do each and every week out there at the dog yard. So for the next 30 minutes, we'll have Coach Detillier here. We'll talk to some of his assistant coaches as well. We'll talk to Seth Bourgeois as well, the owner here at the Creole House Cafe. But first of all, Coach, let's talk about your undefeated season. I know when we talked earlier in the year, you looked at that schedule and all those big teams early on, and you're like, man, we just got to get through that first part. Here you are going into the last week of the regular season, 8-0.
It's quite a surprise. We didn't think we could get through the pre-district undefeated. We just wanted to get through healthy and then maybe win some games in district, but those little Bulldogs would have none of that. So we've been fortunate, but I've been blessed with a good staff that prepared them. And I think those early games is going to help us this week because we have another big opponent coming to the dog yard.
That run started with those 19 points you scored in the fourth quarter, your annual heartbeat game against Hahnville. You pull that one out, and then since then, I'm looking at the numbers, Coach. You've allowed 12 points defensively over the last 6 weeks. That's incredible, including 4 shutouts, Coach.
Well, that's Coach Lorang. He's been with me from the beginning. You know, I knew he'd whip him into shape sooner or later, and he did it sooner, as usual. But it's been, especially last week, I think we put our most complete game together, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And I think we're maturing. You know, I know some coaches like to say, well, you're peaking. It's hard to control that peak, but, boy, we're playing our best at the most important time.
That is highly impressive. And as Coach said, maybe the best all-around team effort from Lutcher this past week with all phases of the game, completing the game. As we take a look back at last week's highlights, let's start with those Lutcher Bulldogs. Bulldog fans like Claude Wiggins had plenty to cheer about. The home football game with Assumption, maybe the most complete effort Coach Detillier's squad has put together all season. It started with a point-blank touchdown run by Dijon Payne, and the Bulldogs led 7-0. Assumption would answer and come right back. Cameron Blaine uncorks the 67-yard bomb. DeJuan Oliver on the opposite end. He scores a touchdown. It was 7-6, but from there, Lutcher's defense picked off Blaine 3 times. On the opposite end, Rustin Mathern doing what Rustin does best, that's making plays. This time, the explosive speed runs by the entire Assumption defense all the way into the end zone. A 64-yard keeper, part of a 128-yard rushing effort on the night from Lutcher's quarterback. He also had it going on in the air. Mathern lobs one to Spencer Roussel. That's a Lutcher touchdown. Mathern also passed for 147. Later, it's Payne again. Torian Shorty was injured. Payne said, I got your back. It's all right, buddy. 2 touchdowns on the night for Payne, and Lutcher rolls with a 35-6 win over Assumption.
I think it was our most complete game against a quality opponent.
Defense played really well. What are we all looking for tonight? What are y'all expecting?
To be consistent like we are. We've been, the past 6 weeks, we've been shutting people down. Do the same thing tonight.
Next up, let's check out Hahnville taking on John Arrett. The Hahnville cheerleaders pumping up the crowd, and Zach Borey and Lindsey Poire from the band, they're cheering on their Tigers. How about this for an opening series? Sergio Medina, 8-yard run. There's a fumble, but who's on the bottom of that pile? Well, it's Hahnville's Ricky Preston, the first touchdown of the night. Hahnville led 7-0. Later, it was Sergio Medina again, this time exploding 52 yards. He wouldn't drop this one. Hahnville led 14-0. Hahnville goes on to win 49-6, and it's a Gatorade bath for Coach Valden, trying to be elusive himself. Amazing, after 4 straight losses to start the season, the Tigers get at least a share of a District 8-5A title. East St. John on the West Bank facing Higgins at Haas Memphis Stadium. For 32 years, the team doctor for East St. John, that guy. It's Dr. Christy Montague on hand, along with his lovely wife, Linda. Wildcats led 14-6 at the half, and thanks to a stingy defense, that's the way it stayed. Amani Martin, Nigel Anderson, and finally, Destin Stewart all recovered second-half fumbles for East St. John. Good thing they did, because there wasn't much offense in this one at all. Second year in a row, Wildcats head coach Philip Banco gets the Gatorade bath, and why not? The East St. John playoff hopes are alive, winning 14-6. Des Broussard out for the season with that broken ankle, but he took care of business with our interviews following the game.
Hey, Coach, how I feel today to get this good, victorious win?
You know, I feel good right now. I'm really cold. They put the water on me, but it's cold. But I'm happy. It was a tough win. We knew it was going to be a tough one. Higgins Hurricanes are a tough ball club, and you know, I'm gonna call Debo tonight because you know it hurt him last year. They took it from us, so we came here in their backyard on a Thursday night. Like I said, turnovers was the key.
How does it feel to you to get this win?
Well, it feels good because it's my senior year and I won't go for this year. But I played bad, sloppy.
Here we go with Nigel Anderson, number 14. How does this feel to get the victorious win?
It was good, man. Just that we got to step up. It's not even over yet. We got to play against Bonneville. And then after that, it's on go so on. We got to keep doing our thing and keep stopping them.
No question about our game of the week, Riverside hosting Newman. And with all these last-second heroics, we're glad the EMS was there. Chad and Summer, they're ready for those cardiac kids. Third quarter, Riverside up 21-13. And watch the block coming out of the backfield. Number 25, Brandon Hemel, paves the way for Jonquil Sanders. 114 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns for Sanders. This one put the Rebels up 28-13. 9 lead changes in this one, 5 touchdowns in the final 5.5 minutes. Here's the first one of those 5, Deuce Wallace to Von Julian. That's a Rebel touchdown, and Riverside is on top 35-31. Newman quarterback Jabari Tyler, the son of former LSU quarterback Herb Tyler. He had 456 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Back and forth we go. We'll match you with another one. A 47-yard touchdown pass from Deuce Wallace to Julian again. He quickly turns and burns, and it's 42-28, Riverside with 3:26 left to go. Newman counters. Again, it's Tyler. On the ground, he rushed for a game-high 132 yards. Here's one of his 2 touchdowns that put the Greenies up 44-42, just 44 seconds remaining. The drive goes to the 23-yard line. Less than 10 seconds left. Wallace to Julian. Up top, and there's your game winner. The 3rd touchdown pass in the final 5 minutes to Von Julian. He had 13 catches, 236 yards. Wallace had 352 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Riverside's playoff hopes are alive with the thrilling 48-44 win over Newman.
This is what high school football is all about. You know, I had a good football team, and the Tyler kid is as good as advertised. I think we showed a lot of character tonight, and that's what we've talked about all year long. And we're developing football players. So, you know, I'm pleased. I'm pleased with where we're at right now.
Homecoming at St. Charles, the Comets hosting St. James, alumni everywhere. Pat Matthews, class of 87, and his buddy Paul Jansen, class of 86, they're taking care of the Wings. Tanya Andropont, class of 83. She's rooting on her son, Jason, who's the center for St. Charles. But the main alumni being honored on this night, the fallen St. John deputy, Jeremy Trish, whose parents Edie and Mike, along with his widow Misty and son Cade, as well as fellow law enforcement officers from St. John Parish, there for the honor as Coach Monica and Principal Cupid handing over the 53 jersey to the family for Jeremy Trish, who graduated from St. Charles in 2002, was Frank Monica's center, and was also the catcher on the baseball team. On the field, St. Charles struck first. A short touchdown run by the game's leading rusher, Aaron Lewis. St. Charles led 7-0. St. James came to play. Number 10 is senior Seth Keller. He's one of the leading tacklers in the state. Had another big game on both sides of the field. The St. Charles special teams coming up with the next touchdown. It comes on a punt, partially blocked, stays in the end zone, and at the bottom of that pile is Mr. Touchdown, Brandon Zimmer. This guy seems to score a couple every game. Defensively, Luke Jackson continues to be a force for St. Charles. He picks up his 10th sack of the season. The Tulane commit has been a beast for the last couple of years. As for Austin Weber, the young man split time at quarterback and running back. Here he takes the handoff and the hit and still finds the end zone, scoring from 14 yards out. St. Charles wins its 6th game in a row, 41-0 the final, and for St. Charles, at least a share of a District 7 3A title.
It's a whole lot better for planned service than it is for demand service.
That's why at Cajun Comfort, electrical, air conditioning, and heating, we've developed a unique umbrella for our customers known simply as
Comfort Club.
For AC units, it's the
ESA.
Energy Savings Agreement.
You get 2 cleanings a year. Also with that, you get a 15% discount on any repairs you may need, and you get priority service, which to me is the most important thing.
Comfort Club.
Which also includes
EPP. Electrical Protection Plan. We go through your panel and check all your breakers, check everything, make sure everything looks good. That way you don't have to worry about any kind of electrical fire in your home. Comfort Club.
And for your generators,
GMP.
Generator Maintenance Program.
We go through, we change the oil, we change filters. When the storm comes, your generator's up and ready to kick on for you.
We're what satisfaction is supposed to feel like, and we guarantee that satisfaction 100%.
Now's the time to call Cajun Comfort Electrical, Air Conditioning, and Heating, and just ask for
Comfort Club. At myhealthinsurancelady.com, we offer online quotes for Blue Cross, Humana, and Coventry, just to name a few.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
We offer you expert advice on choosing a plan that's right for you and your family.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
So go to myhealthinsurancelady.com for your health insurance needs.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
myhealthinsurancelady.com. From 3409 Highway 3125 in Paulina, the Creole House Cafe. Welcome back to This Week in River Parish Football. Eric Ritchie alongside Lutcher Bulldog head coach Tim Detillier. Coach, I know steak night here every Wednesday. This is good stuff. They don't mess around over here.
They don't. You know, in the early season, for the buffet, I bring my coaching staff in. We put a little dent in that buffet.
Lunch buffet every day here at the Creole House Cafe. And if you've watched the show the first 4 weeks, you know this is the segment that we don't do high fives, Coach. We do hypothetical fives. I've got 5 what-if questions for Tim Detillier. Are you ready?
I stay ready.
Let's do this. I like your attitude already. Question number 1. What if you had to pick, just one now, the most memorable moment of your coaching career? What would that be?
Whoa.
I know 6 state champions here at Lutcher. You've been a part of all of them. It's tough to pick, but you got to pick one memorable moment in your coaching career.
I guess I would go to the year 2003. As a head coach, it's my first state championship as a head coach with my staff. It was a very emotional year, and I guess this year's team kind of reminds me of the 03 team.
Great answer, of course. Coach went on to win 2 more state championships in 06 and 08. Hypothetical what-if question number 2. What if Tim Detillier wasn't a coach? What would he be doing?
I guess I'd be a shoemaker because I wanted to save souls.
I like it. I like it. Question number 3. What if you would have to pick one key, of course outside of scoring more points, to win this undisputed 6-4-8 title Friday against the team, a Plaquemines team in the dog yard?
I guess right now off the top of my head, we'd have to stop the run because they're very potent with the running game. We're going to have our hands full. They're so much bigger, faster, stronger than us. Stopping the run, I would pick.
Coach Detillier, hypothetical question number 4. What if you could meet any coach from any era of football? Who would that coach be, and what would you ask him?
Well, Vince Lombardi's coming on, but you know what? I'm going to say Tom Landry.
Outstanding, former Dallas Cowboys coach. I love it. What would you ask Coach Landry?
I'd most probably ask him about, because he didn't strike everybody as a motivational coach, but as I read the stories that he's going and stuff, he was my kind of guy off the field and what he expected of his players. And I remember one player, it was a big game. It was an unbelievable catch the kid made, and he said, "How did you make that catch?" And he just looked at the guy and he said, "I knew Coach Landry expected me to make the catch."
Coach Landry, of course, a man of faith, just like Coach Detillier, and a guy who won some championships himself. Certainly beating the Orange Crush is what comes to mind when the cameras finally caught Tom Landry smiling on the sidelines. Hypothetical question number 5 with Coach Detillier. What if you would have to pick the best thing about River Parish football?
I guess I'd have to say the passion. People are so passionate about it, especially in Lutcher. It's more than just a game. You know, it's a culture, and I would just say the passion that the people have for the game of football.
Coach, that deserves a high five. I'll give you a high five with a hypothetical 5. What else is great about River Parish football? Seth, come on out here. We have got the great food here from the Creole House Cafe. Look at this. We got the unbelievable nachos with the pulled pork and the unbelievable ribeye. We're going to get shots of this. This is the reason why this place is so busy all the time, because of the food. The food's unbelievable in River Parish football.
I don't know about your plate, but my plate's undefeated.
Well, it's about to be taken care of, because we're going to let you go ahead and get down on your great ribeye steak here at the Creole House Cafe. We're going to let George Becknell come up here. We'll preview the Week 10 games, and we'll be right back on This Week in River Parish Football from the Creole House Cafe in Paulina, Louisiana. We're talking Lutcher football tonight.
At MyHealthInsuranceLady.com, we offer online quotes for Blue Cross, Humana, and Coventry, just to name a few.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
We offer you expert advice on choosing a plan that's right for you and your family.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
So go to MyHealthInsuranceLady.com for your health insurance needs.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
MyHealthInsuranceLady.com.
Hurricane Isaac and the flooding in St. John and St. James parishes may have knocked us down, but we're picking ourselves back up and rebuilding. At RTC, we repaired our network, restored services, and issued credits for service interruptions. We will repair the connections in your home, replace damaged equipment, and if you're living in a travel trailer, we will connect service there at no additional charge. That's how we treat our friends and neighbors at RTC. We're Reserve Telecommunications. We're not going anywhere. This is our home.
Welcome back to the Creole House Cafe. Eric Ritchie alongside George Becknell. It's This Week in River Parish Football as we look ahead to Friday night's games, the end of the regular season, George. There's outright district championships on the line all over for at least 4 of our River Parish teams. Let's start with Lutcher, because they have a chance to win it all tomorrow night.
Once again, playing Plaquemine. It seems like Lutcher in Week 10 is always playing for district championship. They're going for one once again. It seems like in Week 10 we have half of the teams in the River Parishes are playing for outright championships, and the other half are playing for chances to get into the playoffs.
7 of the 8 teams from the River Parish is still very much alive in the playoff hunt. Let's go ahead and turn our attention to District 8-5A. We start with the Hahnville Tigers, who have not really lost a game since an 0-4 start. They have a chance to win it outright. It doesn't get much more of a rivalry than Hahnville at Destrehan.
Big rivalry as always, and you know, Hahnville, once again, like we mentioned earlier in the year, you know, it's not so much how many you win, but when you win them, and they've been winning them at the right time. And all of a sudden, now they find themselves playing for an undisputed championship. You know, Hahnville, sort of like Lutcher, is a team that always seems to get better as the year goes on.
For Destrehan, unofficially 36th in the power points. They've lost 2 consecutive one-point games. They need it. Still hope for Coach Robichaux. As for East St. John, still very much alive as well. They have to beat Bonneville to get in.
They need to beat Bonneville. It'll be close because of where they are. It depends. If they win, there's a decent chance they'll be in. But, you know, you could have a possibility of, if you have ties for district championships, that could maybe bump them down. But if they win, it looks like with where they're situated, they may very well get in.
Let's turn our attention to 3A. The lone school out of the River Parishes that won't be playing for a spot in the playoffs on Friday will be St. James. But against Donaldsonville, there's certainly a lot to play for the Wildcats.
Well, really, this is about the best matchup they've had in a long time. It's 2 schools both lacking numbers, so it'll be even in terms of personnel. Last year, St. James in Week 10 played its best football game of the year, had their most production. They were down 38-0 at halftime and scored 40 points in the second half, ended up losing 54-40. So it's a game where they match up pretty well.
I feel bad that we didn't make it out to St. James enough this year for the highlights and interviews with the players. So before we take a look at the next 2 games, let's go ahead and meet the 6 seniors for James Bell's St. James Wildcats.
Seth Keller, senior, linebacker and fullback.
Rashid Bartholomew, cornerback and wide receiver.
My name is Jared Wiggins. I'm a senior. I start left offensive tackle, right defense end.
Ashton Adams. I play wide receiver and free safety.
Gary Esther. I'm a senior and I play linebacker.
My name is Dijon Winchester. I play defensive tackle. I'm number 79.
Well, what people should know about these young men is that through all the situations that they've gone through all the adversity, the injuries, the lack of numbers, the academics that we've had to go through this year, but these guys have come out every week with a positive attitude, with a winning attitude, and it may not show in the win column, but it shows each and every week because they play good competition every week. I mean, the teams are better this year that we've played. The competition's been outstanding. I'm proud of the guys. A lot of these guys hadn't played until this year. So I'm very proud of them. And like I said, the people need to know that they're just young. They're going to be so much better next year. They're going to make everybody proud.
Glad we had a chance to recognize those young men for their heart and their grit all season long. Let's stay in 3A, George. St. Charles, like Conville, got off to a terrible start, but they're on a winning streak. Coach Monica's squad has won 6 straight. Heading into Edie White, they could win it all.
Absolutely. Once again, another team that's playing in Week 10 to get the outright championship. They're already in. They're looking to win in order to hope maybe move up a few spots to maybe get a better playoff positioning. But you know, Edie White actually has a higher power rating than St. Charles does, so I mean they have a lot of incentive as well.
The team that made it all the way to the Dome last year with Coach Valdez, they're taking on East Iberville. It's hard to believe the Rams don't have this thing wrapped up yet, but they have to win one more for the outright title too.
Yeah, but I think it should be one that they should be able to capture their 2nd straight district title. They're really rolling right now. You know, they have 2 great running backs. Austin Howard was 12 of 13 passing last week, very efficient. They're using that hurry-up kind of offense that's just really wearing down teams in the Class 1A level.
That's a look ahead at the games. It's time for us to take another break and wrap up this week in River Parish football. But as we head to break, it's time to check out this week's Fatties Player of the Week. It's time for our candidates for the River Parish football Fatties Player of the Week. West St. John running back Jeremy Jackson. He only had 10 carries, but still rushed for 4 touchdowns and 128 yards as West St. John clinched at least a share of a district title. Riverside sophomore wide receiver Von Julian. How about 13 catches, 236 yards, including 3 touchdowns, all in the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds, which included the game winner with 9 seconds. Lutcher quarterback Rustin Mathern. 128 yards rushing and a touchdown to go along with 147 yards passing and another touchdown. Riverside freshman quarterback Deuce Wallace, 352 yards passing and 4 touchdowns, including the game winner with 9 seconds left. Our Fatties Player of the Week after this. Fatty's Main Street Grill and Sports Bar in LaPlace. You gotta check it out. Come to Fatty's on Main Street in LaPlace for these daily specials.
I'm Deuce Wallace, freshman quarterback at Riverside Academy, and I am the Fatties Player of the Week.
I'm Von Julian, Riverside Academy sophomore wide receiver, and I'm the Fatties Player of the Week.
Yes, our first co-winners of the Fatties Player of the Week. And with 352 yards passing and 4 touchdowns from Wallace and 13 receptions, 236 yards and 3 touchdowns for Julian, how can you pick just one?
Yeah, I'd agree with you. These 2 guys will be getting better all year long. You know, they're not the only ones, but I'm going to tell you, they both had a whale of a night the other night.
We kind of started off slow, the game slow, but picked up everything after the second half, had a good talk in the locker room, know what we had to do. I trusted everybody out there on the field, my line, receivers, running back, everybody, and we just went out there and executed and turned out at a big win.
Well, you know, it was kind of tough because they had a really good defense and their offense. It kept scoring, but we just didn't give up. We knew we had the confidence going and we had adrenaline flowing, so we really was pumped up.
And what about the game winner? A 23-yard strike with just 9 seconds left to give Riverside a 48-44 win over Newman and keep their playoff hopes alive.
We had Herb and Jonquil, like all the good players that they were focused on, to the left side, and I was backside by myself. And Coach called a play, and Deuce made it happen with the good pass.
Well, it was definitely nerve-wracking, but I trusted Vaughn. They had man-on-man coverage with nobody behind that cornerback, and I trusted that he would go win that battle. I just threw in the end zone and let him go get it, and he did his thing.
Congratulations to Von Julian and Deuce Wallace, our Fatties Co-Players of the Week.
It's a whole lot better for planned service than it is for demand service.
That's why at Cajun Comfort Electrical Air Conditioning and Heating, we've developed a unique umbrella for our customers known simply as
Comfort Club.
For AC units, it's the
ESA.
Energy Savings Agreement.
You get 2 cleanings a year. Also with that, you get a 15% discount on any repairs you may need, and you get priority service, which to me is the most important thing.
Comfort Club.
Which also includes
EPP, Electrical Protection Plan. We go through your panel and check all your breakers, check everything, make sure everything looks good. That way you don't have to worry about any kind of electrical fire in your home. Comfort Club.
And for your generators,
GMP.
Generator Maintenance Program.
We go through, we change the oil, we change filters. When the storm comes, your generator's up and ready to kick on for you.
We're what satisfaction is supposed to feel like, and we guarantee that satisfaction 100%.
Now's the time to call Cajun Comfort Electrical Air Conditioning and Heating and just ask for
Comfort Club. At myhealthinsurancelady.com, we offer online quotes for Blue Cross, Humana, and Coventry, just to name a few.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
We offer you expert advice on choosing a plan that's right for you and your family.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
So go to myhealthinsurancelady.com for your health insurance needs.
That's My Health Insurance Lady.
myhealthinsurancelady.com. We're at the Creole House in Paulina, Louisiana, and look who we have here, the owner. It's Seth Bourgeois. Seth, thanks so much, first of all, for having us out here. Tell us a little bit about the Creole House. It's a name that maybe be new to some people, but this place isn't.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming, Eric. We appreciate you coming by and bringing the cameras and the publicity that is your show. We used to be the Stockpile. The people in the river parishes might know us, might remember us as the Stockpile. It was a real kicking place back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Kind of died down, and then we picked it up about a year and a half ago, and things have been going good. Going good.
That buffet 7 days a week, that certainly helps, but you've got a crowd in here, it seems like all the time, and you always are cranking here.
Tonight we've got steak night, and steak night's a big night for us. Thursday night we do a fake steak night, which is hamburger steaks. Friday night we do after football party and before. So, we just want to invite everybody from the river parish, come on out and see us. Come on out in Grand Point and see what we do here.
Nathan Poche, he's the chief quarterback out here for the Lutcher Bulldogs. Tell us a little bit about this year. How fun has it been to be a Lutcher Bulldog fan this season?
It's always awesome to be a Bulldog. We always got a successful, good football program. And it's just so fun just supporting the program.
Usually we see him with the helmet on, catching touchdown passes. Sully Martin, how's it going, my friend?
It's going pretty good.
Tell me a little bit about this season, what it's been like, and an 8-0 start to the regular season. What's been the key to your success this year?
Well, I think the key would have been our offense. We came out a little short on our O-line, but I think our passing with Russell Mathern as our quarterback, I think he's been pretty consistent. I think we're doing a pretty good job up front, Our defense has been pretty good, too. They've been pretty consistent, coming up with good plays, so I just think we all connecting and doing a pretty good job.
We found Sully Martin's mom sitting right next to him.
I'm just a very proud mom.
We found Coach Detillier's better half. Mrs. Detillier, what's it like to be a coach's wife?
Very hard, but it has some great times, great memories, and yeah, he's a great person, so good.
Coach Jenkins, what is the keys to success this week?
Key to success each and every week is we first have to get it done up front. Our offensive line has been a work in progress all year long, losing 7 of our top 8 guys. And if we can protect Rustin Mathern, he normally makes good things happen for us.
Coach Bourne, what are you expecting this week?
This week we're expecting number 10, Akeem Diggs, to be their top return guy and a main threat for Plaquemine on special teams, and we need to try to be able to contain him in order to be successful on special teams.
Coach Zerang, what about them dingoes?
We've come a long way this year. We started out with only 2 guys really that had a lot of experience, but our young guys have really developed this year. But with the offense we have and the special teams we have, it makes my job a little bit easier.
A big part of this is family night, so we're going to turn around and get some of the family members that made the trip here. I see Coach St. Pierre is there as well. So everybody say hi. Happy Halloween, everyone. Glad you guys came out. Coach Detillier, Imagine this. We got the purple bag for you. It's a riverparishfootball.com shirt. We appreciate it. Best of luck tomorrow. Best of luck in this playoff run this year.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Seth, for having us.
No problem, Coach. Thank you.
Go Dogs.
That'll do it for this week in River Parish football. For Coach, for Seth, for George Becknell, and all the good folks that came out tonight, I'm Eric Ritchie. Thanks so much for watching This Week in River Parish Football.